That's heartbreaking. He's got a baby. Like, this shit should be illegal.
If I'm going to benefit from these rewards, I'm going to spend a little bit more, and I'm going to put in a little more effort to build up my decks. I was doing that anyhow, but I thought I'd make a bit more of an effort to kind of get a solid silver deck built. And unfortunately, the promise hasn't really been realized because of an unforeseen issue that I didn't really think was going to happen, and that's that the rental market completely crashed. It crashed so much.
The unforeseen circumstance, and like, I am in no way trying to degrade this man's intelligence, because from every interaction like that I've seen, this is a smart man, right? This is the problem with these goddamn NFT games, and just in general, like, fucking scam. Like, we were talking earlier about like fake gurus who are trying to sell you get rich quick schemes. Smart people will fall for this. The unforeseen circumstance of that someone's going to pump and dump you is just the inherent nature of the crypto space right now. There's no regulation. There's no incentive to not do it. You're losing your Luna. You're losing your any stable coin. You're losing everything. You're getting pumped and dumped by someone smarter and richer than you. And then real human beings who have babies to feed try to do something, and then this is the shit that happens. You put in a couple extra $100, and then, oh, the rental market. I don't know what this game is, but the rental market crashing. It's 2008, just in a video game.
It's so cheap to rent that there's no point buying at the moment. Like, I bought Quicks, I bought Adelaide, I went out and bought like everything I hadn't really pulled from packs, and I don't even get to play those cards anymore because there's no point. Everybody else is able to rent so cheap that I have to go and rent the card again.
That's the problem. In our scenario, where there's you, the person getting pumped and dumped, and then there's theoretical rich AP Gains with all of his computers, I will flood the market with everything that you have worked so hard to build while I sleep, while I go to the gym, while I, use Andrew Tate's, like, human trafficked prostitutes or whatever it is that people who do bots are doing with their lives. And then all of your hard work is pointless because I flooded the market, and now whatever the rental prices are in this NFT game crash, and then everything that you've worked for, all the money you've invested is gone, and I have it. Because I am scamming you, or, well, the game is scamming you, but I'm taking advantage of you, right? What was the thing with, like, Lost Ark? Like, Lost Ark's like, oh my god, they're approaching 1 million players. Then Asmongold was like, oh, well, 900,000 of them are bots, right? Like, it's real people, smart people, dumb people as well. Just people in general fall for this stuff, and they're losing so much money, and there's no regulation to stop it. At least if like your credit card gets stolen or someone scams you in real life, you have like some recourse. Like, you probably won't get your money back, but at least you can like file a complaint with the government. I don't even remember what the website is anymore. And like, they will investigate it theoretically and try to shut down the scam. There's nothing they can do. Like, there's literally nothing they can do.
And a high problem is that the bots have gone offline because the changes have meant that they're not performing efficiently. And when they're not performing efficiently, the owner's going to take them down. Well, this reduces demand on the market. Supply is greater than ever, and obviously it causes the crash because now everybody can get these cards. And the crash is further, like, the problem is increased further by the simple fact that the focus is on a lone splinter. This means all you have to do is rent one set of cards, like one deck.
What do you think about Star Wars Theory making an NFT? This is why NFTs, okay, I can make an entire hour-long video on why NFTs are stupid. Like, NFTs aren't actually NFTs, right? Like, you don't actually own the image that you think you own, right? You own the fucking hyperlink to that image, right? So, like, the Bored Ape that you spent $900,000 on, you don't actually own it. You own the fucking link to get that Bored Ape, right? If people want to do, like, if you want to support someone via an NFT, go for it. The problem is when it's not viewed as art, right? Like, if someone wants to spend $1 million on a Picasso, like, obviously art's been being an NFT forever. Like, art's just money laundering. But if you go down to the middle school art fair and you buy something for $20 because you want to support that little girl or that little boy who made that piece of art, that's fine. But if you're buying that art because someone told you that in 2 months that art is going to 10x in value, where's my 10x gangers at, right? If you buy that art from that middle school child expecting that investment to pay off, I don't want to say you're an idiot, because oftentimes you're just not understanding what's going on. you are the one getting pumped and dumped, right? So if Star Wars Theory is starting an NFT because he's passionate about his artwork and he has very passionate fans and you want to support him, that's awesome. But if you're buying it because you think it's an investment, please don't. Please don't do that. NFTs are confusing just for the sake of confusion. Well, that's the whole game, right? That's the whole snake oil salesman thing, is someone's going to come in and tell you that they are infinitely smarter than you. Like, so here's the difference, right? Because technically I'm doing the same fucking thing. I'm telling you I'm way smarter than you, right? I'm not selling you an NFT, right? Like, if they tell you something is great and then you can only access it because of a paywall, they're fucking scamming you, right? They are scamming you. So they make it super confusing so that you think that, like, oh, they can't give this away for free. Like, I obviously just don't know as much as this person did, right? And now I have to buy into this because I want the secret, because I want to be rich. It's like this. Like, my free-to-play farming guide, if I paywalled that shit, you guys should not trust me, right? Like, if those were not just videos that existed on the internet for free, you guys, please, by all means, if I ever paywall some sort of content and you guys don't believe it to be something that I can accurately tell you about, that's a scam, right? Right? That's a fucking scam. That's a scam, right? So they make it confusing so that you feel like an idiot. And therefore, when you feel like an idiot, you see someone who's explaining it to you, and you're like, well, I can't read a book. God forbid I read a book. I can't go and, do some research, some background research. I can't run some data. I can't do any like, you're like, I just have to buy this course. I just have to buy this course so that I can understand it, so I can 10x my value, because I'm a 10x ganger, right? AP schemes, never scams. Dude, that is true. I scheme like a little rodent, but I never scam.
So if I'm only renting Life and my buddy's only renting Fire and my guildmate's only renting Dragon, that means there's a large amount of cards available because I don't need to rent all these other cards, and I only need to rent for one day. So as a result, yeah, it's just reduced the need to buy and actually own any cards, and the whole point was to reward ownership. I'm hoping that the bots hurry up and kind of get dialed back in. So they'll return to the market, they'll rent up a lot of these cards, there'll be more competition, there'll be less supply, and it won't be necessarily viable to kind of abuse this mechanic that everybody is doing right now.
Well,
and it's kind of a must.
Like, I know nothing about this game, obviously. I don't even know what it's called. Splinterlands, right? It literally, it's Splinterlands pay-to-earn NFT gaming. Can we bring back, like, a couple months ago when the fucking Instagram, well, they were probably just TikTok memes that made it to Instagram, but I'm too much of a boomer to have a TikTok, so I just watch my TikToks on Instagram, right? Where it's just like, oh, red flag, red flag, red flag. Or now the fucking meme is like, oh, she's a 10, but she hates football. Oh, she's like, this where I'm not even pointing in the right direction. This is the biggest red flag ever. Please never do this. But this is what hurts me, because this guy is fucking awesome. This is a good fucking dude. This is a good fucking dude. This is a good man. He has done a lot for the game that I play and the community that I love. And he just got pumped and dumped, and he's waiting for it to go back up, right? This is like the Luna people who were like, we were at $1, now we're at 0 cents. Like, just start buying Luna, baby. Just start fucking buying Luna. It'll go back up, back to the moon. Gotta have the diamond hands. Like, it's not going back up. The point was to get you guys to invest money to compete with the bots and then take your money. And then once they've taken you, there's no incentive to go back in because you got pumped and dumped. And it's just however long it takes you to accept the fact that you got dumped. If you're waiting for something to go back, it probably won't. Like, yeah. Like, oh man.
As well, like, if you don't do it, you just lose all your battles. So unless you're fortunate enough to be Daddy Megabucks and own all these cards anyway, but I don't. I've got level 3 Taza, and I'm having to rent a level 4 and stuff like that, and I've got lots of level 1 legendaries. I'm having to rent a level 4 summoner to play a level 2 legendary because everybody else has, and so it's kind of, if you can't beat them, join them, otherwise you're not getting anything, and that's what I've had to.
Yes. Like, at the end, right, like after the normal people have been taken for their money, there's always those whales at the end who for some reason bought into the diehard belief that, it's coming back, baby. And then they just keep pumping in money, and they keep pumping in money, waiting for it to like, buy the dip, baby, buy the dip. But It's not the dip, it's the dead end. You're thinking about the wrong D. Oh my god, you're like, oh, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say like a hoe on prom night. You just got D on your mind, but it's the wrong one. I might have to edit that out of the video, but this is
to do it. It wasn't such a case in the first couple of days, but then you know, a lot of the bigger influencers have noticed this, and a lot of videos rolled out, and then everybody else noticed this, and then everyone else started doing it, and it kind of just went boom. Also, a lot of the bots were still online in the first few days, so they weren't taken off until it was quite, you know, evident that they weren't performing efficiently. So yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22. I don't really know how they fix this. One suggestion I do have is we have these reward share bonuses for gold, for alpha, for beta. Why is there not a reward share bonus for playing a card you actually own? I thought that would be pretty cool. The whole, like, you know,
because they took your money. They took your money. They took your money. They took your money and they're gone. They skedaddled and skedoodled. Oh man. Hey man. What have I missed? Yeah, but yes, I do have D on my mind. I know guys who are up thousands and lost all trying to get greedy. Like, this is why I hate people who think of crypto as investing. Crypto is gambling, right? Like, if you invest in the fucking just an S&P index, right? Over a given amount of time, you always win, right? It's like sports betting, right? You might be like, oh my god, dude, Caesar's Sportbook, whatever the other sports books are, like, they're giving me great odds, right? Over the long run, the math always works out to they will be up about 5% in the long run. They can give you any odds they want, but they're always going to be crafted in the way where they make money in the long run, right? That means anything that is gambling related, you will always lose money. Any gambling in the long run, you will always lose money. The problem is, this is way worse than gambling because there is no protection for you from diabolical scheming. Well, not scheming, scamming. I scheme, they scam, right? There is no protection from like the mob. You know, like the mob used to run, like they used to fix horse races or like have fighters throw fights. Like, at least in that gambling, you can't do that shit. The government's coming for you. But here, they can fix every fight. They can, you know, they can poison the lead horse so that everyone who put their money on that horse, you know, lose. Like, they can stack the deck against you infinitely. So you will always lose. Like, if there's a tier list of how you should spend your money, invest for the long term, gamble, do anything with crypto, right? And that's the thing. Like, someone said, like you were saying, like your friends made thousands and they were down. Like, God forbid you're in crypto. If that shit's up even at all, pull out, right? The only people who make money on crypto are incredibly lucky or the people who are in the know of the scam. Those are the only people who are going to make money in crypto. The people who are in the know of the scam or people who are incredibly lucky, right? And oftentimes, guys, I know for sure you guys are not in the know because we're schemers, not scammers. But I hate to break it to you. You're not going to get lucky. You're not going to get lucky.
Changes were brought in to kind of reward ownership, but there's not actually any reward for ownership. So it seems a little bit odd because I can just go rent a gold alpha card and get that. But if I was to own one, I don't get any actual extra. So, and there's no real like boost for ownership if you're renting these cards out because the market's dead. So you're not getting anything back in return. You know, you're renting out like a level 5 card for less than 1 deck a day. It's absolutely insane. So I'm a little concerned about it. I'm not so concerned that you know, I'm not going to buy it ever. But right now I have actually paused purchases.
No. It's not that you shouldn't buy ever. I'm in the know. Yeah, hell yeah, Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's in the know. He's the exception. He's the only person in the know. No, it's not that you shouldn't buy ever. It's that you should fucking not do this. This is not a good idea. This hurts to watch. He's so close to saying he's getting scammed, but he's not saying it. Okay, dude. All right. I'm gonna make a crazy like analogy here. It's not gonna be that crazy. Like, hopefully this is an understandable enough analogy. You know, I was like, let's just say, like, one of my relationships was very bad, very abusive, very terrible. I hated it. It was just pain and suffering, right? I never wanted to admit to myself that I made a mistake, because admitting to myself that I made a mistake made me seem like the biggest fucking idiot in the world. I knew deep down that I made a mistake, but I could not admit to myself or anyone else. because I had so much pride in myself, because everyone thinks they're the smartest person in the world. Like, that's the reason I'm talking to you, because I'm a fucking idiot who thinks he's smart, and I'm talking to you, right? That's all that is, right? So I couldn't admit it to myself that I was wrong. And then I suffered and suffered and suffered and suffered and suffered and suffered. That's what's happening right here. Is he just hit the point in this video 4 weeks ago. Like, this is 4 weeks ago. He hasn't uploaded in 3 weeks. I hope that means he quit. I really hope that means he quit, right? But he hit the point where he kind of subconsciously realized that he got scammed. And I'm hoping that over the last 4 weeks, he has kind of accepted that, verbalized it, and then taken action on it, right? Like I really hope that that's, like, I have to reach out to him, but I really hope that's what happened.
I think one purchase went through the other day by accident. I had completely forgotten, because I spent all my credits. I spent all my credits on all these cards I brought in. As I said, I bought like Quicks. I bought a level 3 Taza. I leveled up a few other cards, Radiate Brute and things like that.
Gotta go.
I forgot that
Pack?
monsters would now shift to my deck supply. So when I've used up nearly all my deck buying another card, I'd just forgotten that I'd left on a bid order. So, but yeah, other than that, I've paused purchasing for the moment because there's just no real need. I'm just renting right now. And I would just like to see an incentive brought back for purchasing, because otherwise, why would anybody buy anything? Who's going to pay tens of thousands a deck for a card that you can rent for 3 deck? You're just not going to bother. It's just not cost effective, and you can farm all these rewards for so much less.
Does the stream keep freezing? All right, yes, because this is real life AP gains, not fake AP gains. AP gains doesn't have like real AP gains doesn't have all the processing power of fake AP gains. The AP gains empire is run on this laptop right here, baby. So yes, it's lagging bad.
And then you're able to sell something from the rewards if you don't actually pull any deck to further fund doing it a little bit longer. Now, hopefully the bots will correct this when they come back, though that's not a guarantee. It remains to be seen.
You can see it in his face, dude. This is hard.
There's just a lot of hope in this, really. You know, long term, I think this could be a problem.
Long term, I think this could be a problem. No, dude. This is why this hurts me so much. Like, it's not just that in real life I like this guy, right? It's not that. It's like that obviously makes it 10 times worse. But like, people are really buying into this, and like they invest in it, and they get desperate. I'm not saying that he's desperate or he's gonna go homeless or whatever. Like, he's a reasonable dude. He's a responsible man. I'm sure he's doing just fine. Right? This guy's awesome. He's smart. He knows his stuff. He just made a mistake. Right? Like I said, he knows it's a scam, and that's fucked. He's not willing to admit it. I think this video is him admitting it to himself. Like when I first fully realized and admitted my mistake in my relationship, I told my best friend. I feel like, and that was like a big step for me. I feel like this is his version of that. I feel like this is his version of telling his best friend that he made the mistake, right? Because to us content creators, like, yeah, there's, a lot of bigger content creators have parasocial relationships, but my channel is very community based, right? Because it's a very, very small channel. You guys are my friends. Like, if I did this, right, it would be like that. Like, if I got scammed or like I quit Swago, like, I would tell you guys. That would be the step, right? That would be the breaking point, the pinnacle, like the most important moment. And that's what he's doing right now. And that, like, I guess I'm kind of happy because I feel like he's taking the right steps, but
it's far too easy right now for outsiders to come into the game and not actually buy a single card, just rent it for you for absolutely nothing and extract. And that's really what they were trying to avoid. When I say
the question is he going to stop after? So that's the problem. Is some people, and I really hope DB is like this. Some people, after they get scammed once, they never get scammed again, right? Like for me, terrible relationship. I made sure the one that I'm in now is amazing, right? Like, I love the woman I'm with. It's the greatest thing ever. I hope he's like that. I hope he got scammed once and he never gets scammed again. But so many people, they tell themselves like, oh, like the rental market for, whatever game this is, Splinterlands, the rental market crashed, and that won't happen on the next pay to earn NFT game that I play. But the pay to earn NFT games exist for that to happen. They literally exist. Like, you go into any Discord server of any crypto that got pumped and then consequently dumped, right? And all of the people, well, not all of the people, but most of the people will just be like, oh, we got unlucky. We got to have diamond hands. We got to wait for it to come back. Or I'm going to go to this new project and that's going to be my ticket. Because you guys know this very well because you watch my channel. Like, what's the thing that makes me the most depressed? Like, not like my actual clinical depression, but like on top of that, right? Is like money in life. It's a struggle. Life sucks. Life's hard, right? I can't remember who said it, but I was watching probably like some financial channel, right? And then like, there's a lot of money. It might have been like CoffeeZilla or something. They're like, there's a lot of money out there, right? And there's people who are gonna fucking take it from you because everyone wants it. And so that's why this is such a hard thing for a lot of people, is because there's so much emotional attachment, because there's so much pressure in their life for it to go right, right? That's why people get gambling addictions, right? It's because the only thing they want is that big win, so that they can finally stop worrying, and their life will be taken care of, and they can take care of their woman or their man. Women have gambling addictions too, right? They can take care of their kids, they can get a better house, they can provide a life for their family that they want, right? And that's never going to happen. That never happens. It never happens. Literally, it does occasionally happen, but for 99.9999% of people, that will never happen. And so they get just caught up in this cycle of just hoping and praying and hoping and praying, and then they get desperate, and then it becomes an addiction. And it's just...
It's what they were trying to avoid with this new system. It was really there to reward ownership. But, the rental market crash has kind of flipped that on its head. I did express this concern to some other influencers in Splinterlands, and some of them 100% agreed with me. Others were just enjoying it for what it is right now. But long term, I feel they may kind of turn in my direction as well. So fingers crossed that this gets rectified. Let me know what you think. Are you a little bit bothered by this right now? I know I've got a few affiliates and friends in the gaming scene that are a little concerned about this. They've messaged me. They bought lots of packs, they bought lots of cards, and they can't really use most of them. They've got to go rent a bunch. So I know it's bothering other people. I know this isn't so much a problem in the top league. So the top league players are the ones I've noticed aren't bothered. The whole renting thing isn't really cost efficient when you're playing in like Diamond, or is it Champion, the top one? But I think Silver and Gold are quite costly.
All right, so I feel like the rest of this video is just kind of technical stuff. Like, I wanted to highlight some of the things in the comments. Like, the market will likely correct itself soon with rental prices increasing. Like in gaming, oh, you can't even see it. In gaming, this is copium. In real life, this is getting scammed. Like, in real life, this would just be like, oh, like if we were talking about Galaxy of Heroes and we were like, man, I really hope that free-to-play gets a big buff soon, right? And we got the Datacron, little tiny snippet of free-to-play buff. They're giving us more resources. And then the next day, mods don't matter because you can just wail out on speed Datacrons, 25% TM to start the battle, right? Like, that's copium, right? But when real life is involved, when money is involved, when like the security of your family's like well-being is involved, it's addiction, it's scam, and it's heartbreaking. Subscribe. Let's get 25K by the end of the summer of the 69th. Who knows? Maybe we'll go on to do big things. All right, boys. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.